Halloween Kills is the direct sequel to the 2018 film Halloween, also directed by David Gordon Green. In this film, Michael Myers has escaped the trap of the last film, and once again he goes on this massive killing spree, surprisingly. But all the residents of Haddonfield finally try to come together and finish him off. Evil dies tonight. Now, I was more so interested in this film than excited. I'm, again, not the biggest fan of the 2018 one, and I saw this film back on, I think, Friday night I saw it, and it's Sunday, the day the video will come out, and the reason it's been a few days is, one, because I already had a Halloween video about the 2018 one go up on Friday, and then yesterday, of course, I talked about the Batman trailer. I mean, come on. But I did want to give this film a few days to kind of let it settle with me, and my thoughts have changed, but now I finally, set my thoughts in stone and stuff, and just like the 2018 film, this movie is very meh. Do I think it's necessarily a bad movie? No. Do I think it's a good movie? No, not really. It's just very mid. That's just how I feel about the 2018 one. There are great things about that movie, but there are also terrible things about that movie. And the same thing goes for here. Of course, just like the 2018 one, the kills here are brutal. From what I've seen, again, I've seen the original that I have behind me a bunch of times, one of the greatest horror films ever, obviously. The 2018 one twice, and now this one. And for me, this is easily the most brutal one yet. The kills are awesome. They feel really real. And that's what I really like about the film. I think that's one thing that David Gordon Green did very well. There's a few things I'll talk about a little bit later on that were a little iffy, but I love the kills here. They are brutal, and I will say, if you have not seen the film, I don't recommend you watch this review. And I say that not because I'm going to spoil the movie, but because there's one thing that I do want to talk about, and I did know this going into it because Stuckman mentioned it, so if you watch Stuckman's review, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's just one of those things that I wish I didn't know going into it, but that's completely my bad. So again, not exactly a spoiler, it's not going to ruin the movie if you know, but that thing is the flashbacks. That's something that I did not expect going into the movie, until I watched that review, and I think they were done extremely well. I thought the way they were shot was very cool. It did kind of feel, obviously it does feel like them flashing back to the movie here with other actors, but I thought it was pretty cool. The way they did Loomis was awesome. Is that a spoiler? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's a little obvious. He's in the 1978 one. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that. I thought they did a pretty good job for the most part. The way it looked too, they got more of the classic film look for that. I thought that was pretty cool. And going back to this film in the present day with the story, obviously it just picks up straight where the last one left off. So if you've seen it, you know what happens with the house and everything. And does it make too much sense? Not exactly, but then again, I don't really go into this franchise anymore expecting it to make sense. It's a slasher film. It's just supposed to be fun, and yeah, the movie is fun enough. It does feel a little bit long. There's definitely a time where I was like, oh, we still got like 40 minutes left. Wow, it does not feel like it should be that long. And the characters, once again, I will say I cared about them a little bit more in this film, but that is because it kind of worked with the 2018 one. Like it kind of just built on it a little bit. Are they the greatest characters ever? No, not exactly, but because of the relationships and the stuff that's happened in the 2018 one and something with the characters in this film, which I won't mention, I thought was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea, but this film definitely does feel like, that stepping stone, that gateway to Halloween Ends. And, we already knew that Halloween Ends is coming out, so going to this film, you're not going to be satisfied. It's like you're going to watch part one of a movie. So when it got towards the end of the movie, I was like, oh, this is... Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, of course. It's just one of those movies that you go in and you think you're having a fun time and just your thoughts kind of switch, at least for me. I know a lot of people really did like this movie, but maybe that is also because I'm not the biggest fan of the 2018 one. I think I mentioned that before. And one thing I will say with David Gordon Green, he does a very good job for the most part. There's lots of thrilling scenes here. There isn't any scene that I think is actually scary. There wasn't one. There was one time in the first probably 15 minutes of the film where Michael just walks out of something and attacks someone behind me screamed, but that was really the only time. And even that, I didn't jump or anything. I'm not being like, oh, I'm cool because I don't jump. I jump a lot in horror movies, but I didn't really feel scared here, but I thought the thrills were good. But one thing, it's not just him. I know other directors do this, but it's when there's just a character sitting there and then they just zoom like this. I'm like, why are you doing that? They do it in the 2018 one, they do it here, and yes, do I zoom in my videos? Yes, and I've done it probably multiple times in this video, and I just say that because I know people will say that down below, but it's just one of those things when I'm watching a movie and it does it, I'm just like, oh, that's weird. I get it if it's like Kill Bill or something, it's like, whoosh, shots like that and zooms like that I think are cool, but that's just, again, just a little nitpick here. The story doesn't exactly make sense. There are a lot of moments that really just completely fall flat. I will say there are some emotional moments, and a lot of them do work, and I like the dynamics between some of the characters, but there's also a lot of characters I really just don't care about. So when some characters die, I'm like, oh, okay, they're dead. That was a cool kill, but oh well. It's just one of those movies that when I really sit on it and let my thoughts, set in stone, I'm just like, it's just very meh. That's just the definition of this movie for me. Just like the 2018 one, it's not a bad movie, but it's not really a good movie. Will I watch it again? I mean, before Halloween ends, I'll watch it, but I wouldn't ever, go like the original and go pop it in and be like, oh, I'm so excited to watch this movie again, because I'm really not. I've seen it once. It was alright, like it wasn't a bad experience in the theater. It was cool to see in the theater because the kills are awesome, but there isn't really much more to the movie. Even the characterization with Michael was really lacking here. That's one of the biggest positives I had with the 2018 one. I thought the addition to Michael Myers' character was very nice, but here they don't really do much more with it, and the ending, again, it's just like, oh, it's a part one. You know what I mean? After sitting on it for a few days, Halloween Kills is a very meh movie. The kills are brutal and the thrills are real, but just like the previous film, I walked out feeling underwhelmed. Only one more to go. I'm going to give Halloween Kills a 2.5 out of 5. Again, not a terrible movie, but then again, not really a great one either. It's just one which I would watch if given the opportunity. I would watch it, but I wouldn't, by myself be like, oh, I'm gonna go pop this in and watch it because I loved it so much. I know a lot of people liked it, and if you like the movie, that's nothing on you. I'm glad you did. It's always better to like a movie, but it's just one of those things, it's Halloween, and it's fun. I'm glad it came out in October. It's October 17th while filming the video. It's an okay movie. Do I recommend it if you like the 2018 one? Probably. I think you'll probably like this movie more than I did, but I feel like that does play a part into it because I wasn't a fan of the 2018 one. Maybe that's just it. I'm going to stop rambling on. This review is all over the place, but what did you think of Halloween Kills? Please tell me in the comments down below, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.